Technique, toughness, and truth from a Michigan legend, captain and All-American. Hale Media Group presents Inside the O-Line Room with Rod Payne.
Hello in the broadcasting podcast world. This is Rod Payne, former Michigan All-American center, team captain and MVP of the University of Michigan 1996. I am here in the O-Line Room, show dedicated to understanding what's going on that offensive line. I'm glad to be here to just give you guys a breakdown on everything that happens in the trenches, inside the O-line room, what's going on between the lines, in particular, the Michigan offensive line. As an offensive center, I have a unique ability to kind of break down and see exactly how our line is progressing and what we need to do to improve week to week, game by game, and in order to get to that national championship, get to that Big Ten championship. I'm glad to be here and hosting this show, and look forward to giving you Michigan fans a little bit of insight. You know, just giving a little synopsis of this offensive line play throughout this entire Nebraska game. I believe this was the first Big Ten game. Maturity. Maturity is the overall theme of what this breakdown is, as this game has been clearly a game where this team, this offensive line, matured over, about 12 series. What I saw was uniquely positioned to where a young offensive line with a couple of sophomores, a couple of juniors, one senior, literally went through the play system to be able to mature from first drive to the last drive. And we'll start to see that here with the first play. First drive, Michigan's on its own 6-yard line, and they're hit for a 1-yard loss. Now, what I see here, understand this, that the first part of this play is a center, all right? Nothing personal, pause the tape right there, but as an offensive center, everything starts with the snap of the ball. And from here, being that they are in an even defense, looks like a 3 technique on the left guard, first thing I notice is the center gets beat over the top, and the left tackle basically blocks the wrong guy, leaving a front side linebacker, number 0, there in the hole to make an easy play for a tackle for loss. So on the first play, first series, we come up with a missed assignment and the guy getting beat over the top, and now we're at a tackle for loss. Not a good way for our offensive line to start the series, but again, the synopsis of this series is maturing over time, maturing over this game. First drive, the second play, one of the things I wanted to point out was our pass pro. And I think one of the things I seen on this play, on this particular play, second play I think of the first drive, is left and right tackle are really late on their sets. And what that does is let that defensive end turn the corner on them and gets in the passing lane of the quarterback. Now, what I'd like to see as these guys mature is be able to have a solid square set on the defenders, on the end defenders, and be able to force that pocket wide to give that quarterback a little bit of comfort in throwing in the pocket. I think if you see these replays, we definitely, as a left and right tackle, as in the tackle position, have to be in a position to be in front of the defensive end, as opposed to letting them turn that corner, as we say, turnstile, turn that corner, get a bead on the quarterback. Again, the first drive does not look good for the Wolverine offensive line. We're starting off early. There were a lot of critical errors. Here's one in particular where the center and left guard, Crippen and Afobe, are on 2 different levels to pass a simple tackle twist that almost ends up in the sack and the safety. And what I mean by being on 2 different levels, if the guard sets a little too deep in order that he cannot pick up the driving man of the twist, in this situation we're looking at the nose guard driving deep behind Afobe, you can see the center has no one to pass that twist off, and leaving the tackle coming over the top to almost make a play in the end zone on Bryce Underwood. Sprague and Guarnera do a great job up top locking down their defenders. So again, and that was a tackle DN twist at top. So you can see where is picked up poorly by the center and the left guard, but picked up perfectly by the right guard and right tackle. That part of what I consider that to be is just a maturing of an offensive line that understands how to be consistent in all 5 positions. Panera was able to recognize instantly the drive man, drive him out to Sprague, settle down, get his hips down low, and be able to get hands inside on the defensive line. This is a great pickup up top, even though the pressure came from a missed tackle twist pickup inside. All right, let's look at it. Let's look at the maturity of the offensive line. Let's look at them understanding how to recognize a tackle twist. All right. Pass set, center does a great job sealing the drive man on the initial twister, leaving the nose guard to twist away from the play. The right guard does a great job sealing that right defensive tackle inside. And all of a sudden, hey, you pick up twisters in this type of game with Bryce Underwood and what he possesses in physical ability, and you got a touchdown. So the difference between success and failure on the offensive line could be the difference between picking up one defender, giving your quarterback a chance in a lane to run in, as opposed to what we saw a few plays ago where the same twist, same defensive end and tackle twist that wasn't picked up almost resulted in a sack. All right, let's look at the tight copy. You can see the right guard does a great job in an initial set and redirecting for a cross-the-face drive by the 3 technique. Center does a great job of recognizing that his nose guard immediately looped away and he seals to the side. We have a thing in offensive line. If somebody goes away from you, go that direction because there's going to be another defender coming from that position. And the center does this to perfection, freeing up Bryce Underwood to come through that rushing lane. Bryce Underwood recognizes the field is out on the perimeters, DBs are out on the perimeters, the rest is history. All right, checking out this right tackle in the tight copy. I'd like to see him, he's setting on a good vertical set, but I'd like to see him have a little bit up foot pressure. I'd like to see that left foot strong up the field as he stops this. Potentially, this defender could have come underneath to make this tackle on Underwood, but he does a great job getting his hands inside and redirecting this rush. I pulled this play out of this entire game because I wanted to show people exactly what it is, the point of attack. When you look at left tackle, Mr. Link here, number 71, this is what I call a tone-setting point of attack block. Bucket step from the left tackle, plants his foot, gets his foot down, hands inside, drives that defensive tackle to his back. This is the type of play that puts an emphasis on not only what you're going to do on that play, but plays to come where you now are winning by attrition. In this game, we had Nebraska seemed to have a lot of twists, a lot of games, what we call tackle games, where a tackle may be driving in while another tackle's looping away. Well, in these situations, it can be that the tackle that should stay in his gap loops away from the gap, leaving us a great run lane. And I saw that Nebraska was caught in a number of situations where they looped away from our running lanes. And as long as the offensive line stays square and stay on that zone level, we can make a play. The other thing is, I think this left tackle, a left guard of Phobie, he does an incredible job. Anytime a defender can get his hands, offensive line can get his hands on not only his initial down lineman, but stop the looper. Okay, if you look at the looper, the 2 technique coming over the top, stop that looper, all right, and then train track all the way up to the backside linebacker. These are plays that NFL scouts are looking for. This is the type of movement and blocking in a phone booth and understanding how to block multiple defenders in space while keeping your weight over your feet and keeping your vision up for the next defender is all high-level stuff. The name of the game is maturity. Maturity. This offensive line is maturing through this game, and you're going to see this with a front side flare, a center guard combo on the front side down lineman to the front side linebacker. This is a touchdown play. This is a great pickup by the center. We go to tight copy. You'll get a feel of what I mean when I say a front side combo. And a combination block is any time where two offensive linemen combine to block a down lineman initially, and then move up to the second level defender. This is textbook combo block. Now, I will say this, and being a small bit of a critique, I would like to see Crippen pick up that linebacker just a little earlier, so he can have a more square block. But nonetheless, last is not least, when he's able to get off and make this chip block on this linebacker, free up the running back, and I think was a 75-yard touchdown. This is a great front side combo. What we call a front side flare to the front side, first down lineman front side to the front side linebacker coming backside. And if you can see, if the center doesn't pick up this linebacker coming backside, we get hit in the backfield. It's better to be lucky and good some days where he actually was just a little bit late on this linebacker, but being that he's in the position, the defender has to adjust his downward flow to the ball, and just by the nick of time, he's able to redirect that linebacker. And again, if an offensive lineman is occupying a space, a defender is not. That gives us running lanes. Yeah, hey, this is Rod Payne finishing up with Inside the O-Line Room. Lots of great things I saw in this Nebraska game. I love that these guys are getting centered in, understanding what they got to do and where they got to be, and I love it. Offensive line is doing a great job. I appreciate everything they're doing. Go Blue, and I'll see you next week in the O-Line Room.
If you like this kind of content, please like, share, follow, and subscribe. And as always, go Blue.